Do you have a great relationship with your boss, an executive, or decision maker at your organization, but you're still not getting tapped for the big opportunities you want? That may be because you have a manager, not a sponsor. And today, we're going to talk about how to fix that. Welcome to Daring Breakthroughs, the podcast that helps ambitious professionals build unstoppable confidence, gain crystal clarity, and create powerful connections that fuel your next career move. I'm Jenn Landis, author of Break Up, Break In, Break Through. I took my own journey from Walmart to Wall Street, and I'm here to show you how to rise with strategy and not burn out. Early in my career, I had an idea to create a new department, and I knew that I was going to need support from the top. Up to that point, I had a great relationship with one of the senior execs named Jack. Jack and I were on friendly terms. Jack knew who I was. He was seemingly supportive of my work, but I'd never asked Jack for anything, and I wasn't really on Jack's radar. When I called up Jack and asked, with a quavering voice, but still asked, for a meeting to share an idea and make a pitch, all of that kind of changed. At the end of that pitch, Jack leaned forward, he offered me a high five, and told me that any day an employee had great ideas and they were willing to pitch them to the top, it was a really good day. That day, Jack became my sponsor. Little did I know it at that time, but he saw something in me that he decided was worth putting forward, promoting, and advocating behind closed doors. So he put me on a very short list of people who would be considered for key roles for an upcoming acquisition. I found out about this years later. The reason I share the story is because I hope that you have great relationships with many of the decision makers in your organization. But just having a great relationship doesn't mean that that executive or decision maker is actually sponsoring you. And here's the thing, sponsorship has to be earned. You can't ask for it. Let's just talk about what is a coach, what is a mentor, and what is a sponsor. The U.S. Air Force has the best, hands down definition. A mentor is someone who speaks with you. A coach is someone who speaks to you. And a sponsor is someone who speaks about you. Again, I can't think of a better way to talk about it. So our bosses tend to be coaches and mentors, and sometimes they're also sponsors. But by and large, our immediate managers most often take on the role of coach. They are talking to us, telling us what they want us to do, teaching us, hopefully, and encouraging us along the way. Really good bosses tend to be mentors as well. They help us think beyond the current role to the next role, and perhaps even the role after that. So the conversation broadens and becomes much more about not where you are now, but where you want to be. A sponsor, that's where growth and promotion really happens, because sponsors have access to more resources, generally speaking, than your immediate supervisor. Again, unless your immediate supervisor is also acting as a sponsor. But the real power of sponsors is that sponsors are the ones who have the ability to open opportunities for you that can wildly shift your career and give you access to those big opportunities we talked about at the very beginning of this video. Many people get this wrong. They think a sponsor is just a senior level acquaintance, friend, or worse, some people think they can demand sponsorship. As a senior executive, I've had conversations where bright, up-and-coming future leaders and existing leaders would come in, shut the door, and demand a sponsor. That's not the way sponsorship works. A sponsor is an advocate who talks about you when you're not in the room. They lend you their credibility by recommending you for opportunities. that has to be earned. If you think about a recommendation that you're willing to give, typically you're pretty cautious about whether or not you will recommend something to someone that you have a relationship with because your name is now associated with that recommendation. So if they go to that restaurant and it's terrible, they're going to think, man, what was Jenn thinking? So we all protect our reputations, especially in professional settings, by not recommending people that we're not quite sure about. So I want to introduce you to something I call the sponsorship chain reaction. It's pretty simple, but it outlines the process of how you can earn sponsorship. Step 1, do really good work and demonstrate potential. This is your baseline. You really have to be excellent at the job you're in right now. Even if that job isn't the perfect fit for you, you need to demonstrate that you are a good steward of the job you currently have if you want anyone to think about giving you more or even a different role. You've got to show that you're trustworthy in the role that you're in. Step 2, make your ambitions known. This is really key. Your boss or senior executive or advocate can't advocate for you if they don't know what you want to do or where you want to go. So let's go back to my example with Jack. He was somewhat favorably impressed by the work I was doing in my current role, but he didn't know how to help me until I made the pitch to him and showed him what I was interested in and was fairly open about my ambitions with the company. That's when Jack started leaning forward, taking a more avid interest in what I was doing, and he started seeing possibilities of opportunities he was aware of that I wasn't, that might have been a fit for me. So again, it's easy to think that ambition is a negative word. It shouldn't be. It's okay to want more, and it's okay to work for more, and it's okay to share that with other people. Just be cognizant of who you're sharing it with, why you're sharing it, the spirit with which you're sharing it, and how it's received. Along these similar lines, I'm going to tell you to be careful not to just come on out and ask for a promotion. I think you can do that, but I think it's far more valuable when you talk about the value you believe you can add to the team. The other reason is that sometimes, usually more times than you think, there are other opportunities besides just the promotion that you see. There may be something coming open in a different department. There may be a crucial team role that could potentially do more for your career than just the next promotion. So be careful that you don't hem yourself in by being so specific in your ask that you cut yourself off from other opportunities. Step 3, make your boss look good. Now, some of you are probably going to cringe, and there have been times when the last thing I wanted to do was make my boss look good because I didn't think that highly of my boss. Now, once again, I hope you are in a great situation and you do admire your boss. But even when you don't, making your boss look good by doing good work yourself, by engaging in the team, not by kissing up, not by doing things that go against your values and your moral judgments. Never that. But when you do a great job and you help your boss and your team succeed, and you don't treat it as a big competition, but rather, how can we succeed? You actually demonstrate better and higher level leadership capabilities that will get you noticed. My dad always told me as I was coming up and he was mentoring me while I was starting my career, he always said, if you make your boss look good and your boss gets a promotion, then it creates an opportunity for you. You don't have to take people out. You can actually push people up. And I always loved that thought and the imagery around that it's not about dog eat dog, and we don't have to participate in that kind of tearing of other people down. You can actually lift people up. So when your success becomes their success, you actually support them. This is also a little bit of a hack because when you make your boss look good, they then can in turn want to sponsor you because you delivered results that they needed, and that can create additional sponsorship for you from your current boss. So there are lots of nuances to this. So don't just shut down when you hear me say, make your boss look good. Think about ways that you can do that, because what it really does is it makes you look good. It demonstrates your character. So this week, schedule a meeting with a decision maker in your organization that has the potential of being a sponsor for you. Prepare for that meeting, and when you go in, make your ask. Let them know your ambition. Let them know that you're a team player and that you're really interested in growing in the company by contributing even more value than you're already contributing. And just open the conversation and see where it goes. A great way to start that conversation is simply to say, I've been thinking about where I can add the most value to our team. Here's a problem I've identified and an idea I have to solve it. I'd love to work with you on how we can make this happen. You might be amazed at where that will take the conversation and what it can potentially do for your career. Well, thanks for joining me for today's episode of Daring Breakthroughs. If you found value, hit like and subscribe, and check the description for free tools and resources. Let's stay connected. You can find me everywhere at Ask Jenn Landis. That's Jenn with 2 N's. And if you need a speaker for your next event or want to work with me as your coach, visit jennlandis.com. Until next time, share one insight you gained today with a friend and make one bold move. I dare you.